Today I'm going to show you how to clean the flame sensor on a Comfortmaker RPJ II furnace, kind of a mid-90s vintage furnace. So the issue I'm having with the furnace, and again this is an occasional issue, but when there's a call for heat from the thermostat, the furnace kicks on, it goes through the fan turns on, it goes through its cycle as it normally would to turn on. But about 3 to 5 seconds after the burner ignites, everything shuts off. After it shuts itself off, basically, I get 6 flashes that I see through this window. Unfortunately, that doesn't show up on the little legend that's here on the front of the furnace. So I did some digging, and it turns out that 6 flashes indicates a shorted flame sensor probe, per the manufacturer. So we're going to clean the flame sensor on this furnace and see if that fixes the problem. First thing to do is switch the power off. Power to the furnace should be off anytime you're working on it. Then I'm going to remove the front cover. Just pull up and out. And there's your flame sensor. So if you look at the burner, the flame sensor sticks down in front of the burner. So it's that connection right back there. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull that wire connector off, disconnect it. Okay. Then I'm just going to take a flathead screwdriver, unscrew the screw that holds the flame sensor in. Okay. Not much to it, it's just a little probe basically. There's a little residue on the end of it. So what I found was a little Scotch-Brite pad, and I'm going to use that to get the end of this flame sensor probe cleaned up here. I'm going to get the end cleaned up a bit too. Might be a little hard to tell, but it's definitely looking a little cleaner now than it was. So now I'm just going to reinstall this back in its hole. Just like that. Doesn't need to be super tight. Just snug. We should be good to go now. Okay, so I'm going to flip my power switch back on. I'm going to just simulate a call for heat. So it looks like it's working. Again, this was kind of an intermittent problem, so time will tell ultimately if this was the problem or not. So I'm going to get my cover put back on. So it looks like cleaning the flame sensor fixed the problem, but if you're finding that it doesn't fix your problem, it could be the controller too, so I'm going to show you where that's at. I'm going to make sure my power is off before removing any covers, and the controller is just going to be under the lower of the 2 covers. So I'm going to remove that, just pull up and then out. And there's the controller for this furnace. That looks like the original controller. Again, the error code that I was getting was 6 flashes, which indicates the flame sensor probe may have an issue, but I will link to a forum in the description. One of the guys on that forum wrote a post with this same furnace, and when the flame sensor didn't fix his problem, he replaced the controller with an updated model. So that controller is a White-Rodgers 50A55-843. They cost about $100 on the internet right now. If you do decide to replace the controller, beware that the installation is a little more advanced. The wiring connections on the new controller are a little different than the old one, so you'll need to pay close attention to make sure that they get onto the correct terminals. So anyway, hopefully cleaning the flame sensor fixed your furnace problem.